This is TWiT.
Prepare your questions. We're going to open the lines in just a few minutes. Paul and Mary Jo Foley have consented to taking your irate questions, your rants.
Well, they don't have to be
your
irate.
bloviating. Anything you want to do, you can do in just a little bit. If people are in the Discord, we have a special open mic channel for you. Don't go in there, of course, unless you have a question. For the IRC, I will be reading your questions. I will be doing a dramatic reading of your questions. So go ahead and start posting those. Make sure you say.
Will there be music?
There will be music. Yeah, I can. Yeah, whatever you want. I got
Can you sit by a fire or something?
You got
smoke a pipe.
Have a snifter of brandy.
Yep.
And then Paul and Mary Jo, Toad Sloth asked. If you have a question for Paul and Mary Jo, if you would do me a favor in the IRC, put my name first, because then I get a little highlight, and I know that that's for them. Hey, JT.
Can you hear me?
Hello? I can. Speak up, because it's a little low, and I've turned the volume up.
This is like an episode of MASH where we're calling home from Korea.
Yeah.
Back to Edge, Paul. I take offense to being called weird for upgrading Windows. I don't know how many people here. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I want to applaud Microsoft for skating to where the puck is going to be. I remember in Minority Report in 2054 or so, there's advertising everywhere, so I think they should be applauded for just go ahead and getting.
They know it's coming. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I do feel like there is a trend of subscription fatigue, and I don't know if that's where Microsoft is going, and that I'm happy to have Windows be free forever, and I don't think they have a good way to pay for that with hardware like Apple does. And I also just kind of want to say that we see this life cycle. And I remember Netscape Navigator became Netscape Communicator, became Sobota, became Mozilla Firefox. You know, we see that life cycle of browsers where it goes from a very slim browser to a very bloated browser to a slim browser. I guess it's just inevitable, right? And maybe this is how the developers keep their job security. It goes from a very slim browser to a very bloated.
Okay, we're getting a little echo now.
Getting a little echo. Sorry.
Yep.
So let me address. Can I address the most important thing you said, which was Minority Report? The thing about that movie is they exchanged data by taking a disk out of a machine and putting it over to another machine.
God.
They had all this holographic stuff going on, but they still had it physical, which I always thought was amazing. Anyway, I think you're right across the board. Microsoft doesn't have a way to subsidize software through hardware sales like Apple does, so they have to have a different approach. But I actually, we talk about this notion, I think, and we have, for some reason, have this belief that people would be against it, that nobody wants to pay for a Windows subscription, that when you hear something like Microsoft 360 or Windows 365, you get nervous. That, oh, here we go. They've been working toward this. I think that Microsoft believes people don't want that, and they're nervous about offering something like that. But I think they've done so many terrible things by this point. If they just said, "Look, for $5 a month, we'll get rid of all this stuff," I'd be like, "Please take my money." I would gladly pay that, frankly.
I think they should try that. Actually,
I do too.
I think they should. Just not for everybody. Like if you're okay with seeing ads or not seeing them, like me.
Yeah, give you the option. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also still think they should have a pro version of Windows and non-pro versions. I still don't think Windows should be a one-size-fit-all. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me go back to our Discord. Newman, go ahead, turn on your mic. It's your turn to ask a question.
Cool. Hey, guys. Thanks for opening up the floor. You've actually already answered my question, Paul. It was about the Halo Infinite, whether or not they're going to charge for the multiplayer. But I just want to say I'm really enjoying my Club TWiT membership. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Newman. Thank you for joining. $7 a month gets you ad-free versions of all of our shows. It gets you access to the Discord channel and the TWiT Plus feed. For more information, clubtwit.com/.
Wow.
I mean, twit.tv/.
You do that in your sleep now. It's
pretty much.
I
wake up in the middle of the night. There you go. Would you like to join?
And I'm going to be on the AMA Friday.
I forgot. Oh, that's so important. Mary Jo Foley does an Ask Me Anything for Club TWiT members on Friday. What time? Do you know?
I think 10 a.m. Pacific.
10 a.m. Pacific. If you're not a member, it's not too late. Go to twit.tv/clubtwit. You can literally, you can join for a month and then cancel, and it'll cost you $7. If you can't be around for the live Ask Me Anything, although I encourage you to be so, Aunt Pruitt's going to host it, our community manager.
How do you do the questions on that? Is it like what we're doing here?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Aunt also has a bunch of questions.
He's preparing questions. And then we'll put it on the TWiT Plus feed. So even if you can't be there for it in person, please do. But if you can't, you'll be able to download it and listen to it. Spidiff says, do I get to ask Chris Capicella questions if I subscribe to Club TWiT? I don't know what the ground rules are. I don't think we're going to open up the lines for that. I just feel like that might be a risk.
I don't think we're going to have time. He's kind of time limited. But
yeah.
But you guys can give us ideas if there are things you think.
That's true. Actually, we can do that on Twitter or you can do it in Discord. Figure out a way to. If people have questions.
Well, and during the interview, we'll have those questions. I know you, Mary Jo, you're in the Discord. You can monitor it. And, yeah. Mm-hmm. From IRC comes a question for Paul from Keith 512. That's kind of a loaded question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Why does Windows not update like Linux when you tell it to? And why are they so focused on one update a month in the form of Patch Tuesday? So,
oh God, I wish they were so focused on one update a month.
That would be good, right?
God, are you kidding me?
One of the things that's nice about, and Microsoft's on its way to doing this, but it's nice about Linux is you have a package manager. Almost always when you install software, you install it through the package manager, which even allows you to install, Git downloads and stuff. And then the package manager, whenever you run it, will update everything for you, not just the operating system, but everything you've installed. And that's on demand pretty much, although it'll pop up a notification if there's, a lot of updates waiting for you. So that is a nice way to do it. I don't think that's appropriate for Windows, really.
Well, as far as Windows updates go, I mean, the one thing I will say, for all the complaining I've done today and forever, I do feel like they've gotten to a pretty good place with updates, with a few little asterisks. But, they tried to do this Windows as a service thing with Windows 10. They expanded the number of weeks in which updates basically come out every month. I mean, honestly, it's more typical to get 3 weeks of updates in a month than one, but okay, whatever. The cumulative update thing, I think, has been a success. That's worked out really well. If you don't believe me, try to update Windows 7 today. That's hilarious. I guess it's out of support, but that was a nightmare. Windows 8. Go do Windows 8, and then we'll talk in a week. But that's good. There's still stuff about updating in Windows I don't like. I wish that I could midstream go into Windows Update, click check for updates. It starts downloading the updates, and I could click one and say, stop doing that.
Right.
I wish it was a little more granular, like that kind of thing. But, they're trying to make it dummy proof, and, the goal is the same as it was when they announced Windows 10. They want as many people as possible to be on the most, the latest, most secure version of Windows. And the way to do that is to update the computer. So, I mean, it's still disruptive. I mean, I at least once or twice a month I have to reboot a computer because of Windows updates, but it's better than it was. This is one area this is one of the rare examples. I don't really have a lot to complain about here for some reason, but it doesn't bug me.
It's time-tested, tried and true.
The paint thing bugs me, though.
Yeah, hell yeah. And Mary Jo, you sent the Duo 2 back? Somebody, Mr. K's asking. Oh.
I did. Yep. I sent it back, and I feel bad because I was trying to do one of my non-reviewer reviews of it, but it was so hard for me to use.
It was so awful. This is something reviewers know. Not everything deserves to be reviewed.
No. I don't even know if I should post on my site saying, so here's my one-sentence review. It's still not ready.
Yeah.
There we are.
Well, there it is. You posted it on this site. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you saved me. Because, I felt a little bad about I canceled my order. But
no, you know what? The hardware is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really
beautiful.
Great.
Yeah.
The camera has gotten way better. Still not as good as like the Pixel camera, obviously, but the part that's still not good is the software. It just doesn't work well.
I want a Pixel foldable,
Yeah.
I want the Pixel software on a foldable.
Do you want the hinge in the middle, though? That's kind of a weird thing to get used to.
I want a foldable.
This is the Flip.
You want like one of the foldables.
I really like the Flip better than the Fold 2.
But let me ask, so what's the advantage of it being able to fold? And what's the advantage of that?
Look how small it is. Look at it.
No, I know, but what's the,
Look.
I know, but
just to carry it, right?
Yeah.
But you still have to open it every time you pull it out.
Yeah, but that's not a big deal. You used to do that all the time with your Nokia.
Yeah, do you ever do it? But then the 1990s ended, and I.
Do you ever do like put it down on a table in like a mini laptop position and watch a video?
Yeah, actually, it's cool because of the selfie cam.
Yeah,
you can do it like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Okay,
I think what it is it's a regular size phone. It's a little taller.
Could you just leave it like that all the time?
You could leave it like that, but then you'd but like what would be the point? You close it. It does have this extra screen which shows notifications, the time, stuff like that. It's a color screen too, so it can have a nice background, and it's supremely pocketable. It would only be for somebody who wants a very small
Nintendo thing.
Yeah, right. It's like a Game Boy. It's only for somebody who wants a really small phone. But honestly, I think this is a good reason for a foldable phone. I don't think the Galaxy Fold is
the bigger fold. Yeah,
yeah, because then it's a honking wide big chunk of a thing like the Duo, which opens out into it's too small for a tablet, too big for a phone, kind of a middle size. Yeah. This makes more sense. Plus, applications say, "Oh, you're on a regular phone." It doesn't say, "Oh, I don't understand what you're doing here."
So most when that thing's folded like in an L shape, it just is the app full screen by default. Is that how it works? Like if you put that like down on the little table like you did there before, like folded.
Right, it doesn't go to a half size.
Some apps do.
Oh, some apps.
Some apps are fold aware.
Because you could have two apps. Or okay, so like a camera app might have control.
Camera app is aware. Yeah. So the camera app. This is, let's see, I can show you this. Can I? Yeah. So the camera app, now this is, because it's folded, it shows what's in the camera there, and it has controls down here.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and when I unfold it goes back to the normal. So that's a Samsung app, though. But that's, I think that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I notice you've correctly changed the orientation of those buttons on the bottom, which I appreciate.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is.
On a lot of, like the Pixel, on my Pixel phone, I don't have the buttons, but on this phone, for some reason, I just don't like because
it's opposite.
Well, and then Samsung for some reason puts back on the right and resets on the left.
I know, it's crazy.
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Nope.
And this phone is so tall, I have plenty of room for those controls on the bottom. That's why I left them on.
Yeah.
This is the aspect ratio. Here's the Pixel is a little weird because it's
tall and thin.
Tall. I can't even fit it in the screen there.
Yeah.
How does the weight compare to the Pixel?
Pixel's pretty heavy. It's still a little heavier, I think. Yeah. This is not look. Most guys don't care about how big their phone is, but a lot of people, women who want to put it in a purse, people who don't want to have a phone holster on their hip.
Sure.
Just the fact that it goes in a breast pocket, it's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
So, foldable is not. I don't know if I think this is the way. This makes sense for foldable.
Yeah.
Make the phone smaller, not make the screen bigger. Anyway, let's go to the Discord, and Lowell, you can turn on your mic. You're next. Go ahead, Lowell.
Hello.
Hey, whoa, hey, surprise. Hi, Lowell.
Hi. We just got some notice with Microsoft not that long ago that they'll be increasing the pricing by 20% of Microsoft 365 subscriptions through CSP providers, and unless you get an annual. So if you lock into the annual, you get the same pricing except for the small pricing here and there. I'm just wondering if Mary Jo, if you've heard if that's also happening to people who buy direct. I'm sure it is, but just haven't seen any communication about it.
So this is different from the price increase in March that they already disclosed?
Yeah, so there's the price increase on a few SKUs that's just going to happen, period. But then if you stay on month to month, you're going to go up 20%. And that seems like a big money grab. It should be like 5% maybe or something. It's just huge jump.
No, I haven't heard any other options or things that they're doing in that space. You know, when they announced the March pricing, they said it's been a really long time since we had an increase in Office pricing, and this is substantive, like we admit it. And yeah, you're just going to have to bite the bullet because we've added so much to Office that wasn't there before over the past several years that it's time for us to increase the price. But yeah, having a huge differential between paying monthly and paying annually, that's obviously meant to force you to go annually, right? But it still seems a little, especially during the pandemic, kind of suspect, right?
Yeah, it's also tough because, like, for us as an IT provider, as CSP, if a customer leaves us and goes to someone else, we're responsible for the remainder of their annual contract. Right.
Oh,
So
wow.
they're making it a lot harder and worse for partners and they're saying it's for flexibility and for more options. And it's like, no, that's not it at all.
No, totally not it.
Wow.
We didn't mention this when we talked about Teams Essentials, but that is also going to be offered through partners, right?
Cloud
not just
providers.
directly from Microsoft.
Right, directly and through cloud partners, yep.
So you're saying these prices are increasing for all partners who resell Microsoft 365? Is that?
Yeah, so there's those basic price increases. Some are 10%, some are, and those are good. I mean, Microsoft has an increased price, and they've added a ton of value, and that's great. But I think they should switch to that. And if you want to charge someone more for monthly, maybe 5% or something.
Right.
But basically, as all of our customers, we got to go to and say, if you want to stay monthly, which a lot of customers, when you have like people leaving and coming in an organization, we've used Microsoft Model, trying to tell other vendors, hey, you guys should change your licensing to what Microsoft does. It's completely flexible. Someone, just month to month. Whoops.
Yeah, that's rough. I'm gonna look a little more into that. Thanks for the heads up on that.
Thanks, Lowell.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Kev Brewer is now in here. And maybe because you asked him about Wojciechowicz, I don't know. But Kev is our master of the animated GIF. Hello, Kev.
He is.
Hi, guys. Question on Windows 11 and the taskbar. Do you think they'll be offering any more flexibility to control that as a user? Because I'm finding having to use the start menu to get to Word and all the other apps that I normally use would normally leave in my taskbar. I can't put on there. It limits the width and the amount you can put in, and I'd rather have more control over that taskbar because it's taking me out my workflow.
Start and taskbar have to be the two biggest pain points for Windows 10 11 users, and Microsoft does this, right? So there's a couple of things. And, Start 11 addresses some of these, by the way, not to keep pimping Brad's product, but one of the things it does is allows you to change the size of the taskbar and the size of the icon so you can have more on screen at the same time. Yeah. I expect they're going to add more right-click options. They're going to add the ability to move that thing to other sides of the screen. And then, and actually, do they even have, I don't think they even support, I don't know that native Windows 11 even supports like small icons, does it? I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't. You've got fixed set on.
So that's just such an obvious regression. I would think they would tackle that for some time in the future.
I think they will too, because anytime somebody who works for Microsoft on Twitter brings up Windows 11, people zoom right in on that thing and they're like, you got to fix a taskbar, you guys. Like, it's really not okay. And it turns into this like pile-on thread. They know people are really unhappy about the taskbar. And if they don't change it, what's the reason, right? Why?
It's not just you.
You know what? It feels like I'm sitting there flashing through a Word document. I need a photograph. If it's in my taskbar, I'm used to seeing it there. I know instantly it's a click away. But to have to stop, to break, to go to the start menu, which then flags up, and you've got bars of apps there, for which you have to scroll through in some cases.
Right.
Auto way of talking you out the mode. It needs fixing.
Also, the drag and drop stuff too. The ability to drag a file down to an icon and have that application maximize whatever and throw it in. Is another one I think people have complained a lot about. But this feels to me like the task. This was the Windows 10X feature, right? This was the 10X was going to be a stripped down version of Windows. It didn't have to have all the same features. It might have been appropriate for those kind of mobile devices that the thing was targeting originally, but it doesn't make sense as a Windows 10 replacement. Yeah, for sure.
I agree. Good.
Thank you, Kev.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate your participation in the Discord. Kev is one of the most active members who makes it very fun during our shows. A reminder, once again, Mary Jo Foley's Ask Me Anything is Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific. Club TWiT members, there'll be a special room set up for that, and you'll be able to ask Mary Jo questions and so forth. And if you're not a Club TWiT member, twit.tv/Club TWiT.
I told Ant he has to drink a breakfast stout because it's going to be 10 a.m.
It's going to be breakfast for him, too.
Not a whiskey.
Perfect. Right? Breakfast stout for all. All right, let's. That went well. We should reincorporate that because
I like doing those. I
Love
think they're
doing
fun.
that, and you guys are great. We did get some new people in there. That was my concern in the past. Was it was always the same few people asking questions. But as you get less shy, folks, we will do more of that.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.